Hey everybody, I've shared a number of times on my channel information about Asherah as an Israelite goddess and as the consort or partner or wife of the God of Israel, Adonai. I wanted to share a little observation that I think may be evidence for the continued existence of Asherah within the cult of Israel, and by cult here I mean the worship practices. Now, an early symbol that is agreed by many scholars to represent Asherah is a depiction of a stylized date palm with ibexes feeding on either side of it. Here is one example. This is taken from one of the drawings that was on one of the pithoi discovered at Kuntilit Ajrud that probably dates to around 800 BCE. And this example is a couple centuries older. This is the Tanakh cult stand, and you can see the third register from the bottom. Between the two lions, you see the little curly branches of the stylized date palm with the ibexes on either side of it. Again, this is widely agreed to be a symbol for Asherah. Now, the last artifact I want to share is the Lachish ewer. This is a drawing and an inscription on a vase that was discovered at Lachish in ancient Israel, and this probably dates to around the end of the Bronze Age, late 13th century BCE, so just before around 1200 BCE. So this is how the artifact actually looks today, but I want to show you a drawing so that you can see the full inscription and drawing. So here's a drawing of the relevant inscription, and this dedicates this vase to Elat, or the goddess, and I want to focus on the drawings on the right here. Specifically, I want to focus on these two ibexes that are depicted feeding on either side of this stylized tree. Now, given this inscription is dedicated to the goddess, which is an epithet that is frequently used to refer to Asherah, I want to suggest that this is related to the previous depictions of ibexes feeding on either side of a stylized date palm. The tree here is a little different, however. It doesn't have the normal curly branches. We've got 7 branches on this tree that are sweeping up in a style very similar to how the menorah would be depicted in later times. And so I think this is just suggestive, perhaps, of the origins of this tree-like menorah that we find later in the temple. And this would not be the only case that scholars have made for Asherah cultic objects in the temple. In fact, there's an Israeli scholar named Reinen Eichler who has published an argument that Aaron's rod, which was placed in the Ark of the Covenant, may have been an early Asherah pole, and the story about how it budded and how it ended up in the Ark of the Covenant may just be cover for how there could have been an Asherah pole in the Ark of the Covenant in the temple in Jerusalem. So just an interesting observation that I think merits more research.